Hello. Thanks for joining in on another episode of Crit Seekers. I'm your World Weaver, Mason.
Oh, I'm Danny. I play Nyx.
I'm Russell, and I play Seven.
I'm Randall, and I play Tail.
I'm Kat, and I play Nimueh.
So, last time we found the talented Seven, you all had witnessed Nimueh being taken away in a ball of fire by what had appeared at first to be some merchant that you had crossed paths with a little earlier on in your travels. After the fireball had settled, you had found a piece of parchment that seemed to denote that the person who had taken Nimueh was somebody else from your past, from the beginning of when you guys had all started traveling together. A man named Vale, who had been part of a bandit group that had robbed you at some point in time. You had followed them back to their fort and eliminated all of them, seemingly. But in the end of the fray, Nimueh had spared this Vale, and he had escaped. Bartholomew had transported you all back to Dead Cairn, and you had all met up with Alar, another companion of yours, of Nyx's in particular, from way back in her life, and had gotten some horses and set out to rescue your friend. And that is where we pick up this time. So, we start our session with all of you having purchased some horses from the stables outside of Dead Cairn and taken off at a fast trot, or fast gallop towards the Iron Slopes. It is going to take the three of you about, if you're just going to push the whole time galloping, you do risk your horses, pushing them that hard for that short of a time. They should be okay. But you are breaching the how much you can push an animal before you just can't continue at that pace. So you push hard for the first day. Is there anything you guys want to discuss during your travels? You had asked Alar to kind of fill you in on the goings on. So kind of towards the beginning of the travels, you guys are galloping, so there's not really.
I was thinking. I was like, I don't know that we're gonna.
Yeah, so we'll
That's pretty loud.
Yeah. And you guys are, and you're not riding right next to each other because that's dangerous when you're galloping that fast. So you just push through that first day until you can't anymore. The horses are exhausted. The sun has set and darkness begins to take the sky. And Alar ahead of you kind of slows down his gallop and just says, I think we should make camp for the evening. We can push through tomorrow and make it there about midday, if that sounds agreeable to you all. I could use a break.
Yeah, of course.
I
think the horses could too.
So you set up camp, which is a bit different because you're used to staying in a small shimmering dome produced by your friend DeWitt and having camped like this in quite some time. You set up a fire and some tents and tie the horses off nearby, give them some food and some water, and all settle down. You definitely all have rations and stuff to eat as you sit around this fire. And Alar, after you are all situated, turns and looks to you all and just says, "So, I said I would fill you in on what's been happening in Dead Cairn since you've been gone. Idris has decided that it is time to step out of the shadows and start to lead his people, given the threats that have encroached upon their life and the city in general. So the people know of Idris now and have taken to them quite quickly as the de facto ruler of Dead Cairn. The temple to Varuna that had collapsed has been rebuilt, and with some help from some of the local mages, now rests back where it once stood. It's hard to explain. You'd have to see it. We have also very limitedly allowed the kobolds that dwelled beneath the surface to come up and join the community and have that privilege as long as nothing is done or caused by them.
Are my friends doing okay?
From what I can tell, it seems so. They have some weird infatuation to Idris, and the fact that they are a dragon is... They almost look to them as a god. It's quite interesting.
They're quite some good people.
Yes. Other than that, we've been rebuilding the docks and everything that was destroyed during the confrontation with the Rat King's forces that attacked the city. And just rebuilding and doubling our defenses. The work on your keep has been started. It is not complete. It won't be for a little while, but it will be done. We were going to, next time you were in the city, offer to you the tavern stronghold that the Rat King possessed as a temporary place to stay. If that's agreeable to you all, it is yours, the tavern and all.
Okay.
I mean,
We have no other use for it,
We
and
quit the
figured
campaign and we just opened a tavern.
we figured it was a good way to thank you at least a little bit for what you have done while we finish your keep.
oh, well, thank you.
Oh, of course. Other than that, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Is there any...
I mean, that's a lot.
There has been a lot going on.
You have any question for us?
Well, Nyx has been keeping me up to date very periodically on what has been going on with you all, so I do know pretty much what's been happening. The last time we spoke, though, you were headed to find a wizard?
Oh, yeah, we found him.
Oh,
He's the one that brought us to Dead Cairn. That's how we got there so quick.
I was curious about how that happened, but with you all, I tend not to inquire deeply as to those answers, because you seem to find a way to make everything work out.
Hopefully we make this thing work out.
Knowing you all, I'm sure you will.
Oh, I hope so.
So what is the plan? What is our approach here? What are we going to do?
Well, that person might be prepared for us. So it depends. Nix was saying that he might not expect us to have been here so quickly. But if he is prepared, might be best to try and sneak in because we are such sneaky people. And secretly take Nimueh back.
Are you sure you possess the ability to sneak? That armor doesn't seem like it affords you much stealth.
Oh, I can turn myself invisible, and everyone can cast magic, and plus I'm just super good at sneaking, so make up for it.
You're not good at sneaking, but we do have things to help you.
Yeah.
I think maybe
I'm
you are good at sneaking.
I am really good at sneaking.
But your armor
Here,
isn't
watch
great
this.
for it.
I'm gonna walk behind the tree and attempt to... oh, shit. Attempt to sneak. 8.
Till steps behind the tree and you just hear this creaking of his armor as he tries to creep back up on the group.
Anyone have oil?
I think it's
will that
more
help?
that your pieces are grinding together as you walk. It's very heavy, bulky armor that you don now.
Well, it looked cool, so it's worth it.
It does look very cool, that
I
is
know.
for sure.
I had to look cool for all of my fans, like the kobolds and others.
Yes, they constantly speak of this king,
Yeah,
the king
that's
of the
me.
kobolds.
See,
Yes,
I
I
told you.
am aware.
You didn't believe us the first time.
No, we did not, but seems we've been proven wrong. Well, this seems like the best course of action to approach this. I can't think of another. Do we know anything about the forces that they might possess guarding this place? You've been there before.
Well, there was a giant chasm. I don't know how we're going to get across that, but I imagine if they're back at the giant fort, which I imagine they are,
Oh,
since
yeah.
that's where their stronghold was. If they are back there, I imagine they've found a way to repair that.
Because there was a bridge, but it was cut. But the wit would use his flying to fix bridge or transport us. But we don't have him anymore.
Wasn't there also another way in? Up the
To
very
up,
top.
Yeah, like up and over.
But we
You'd have
can't
to
fly.
Okay.
climb, like scale a sheer cliffside.
That's why. Okay. I did
and then
remember
climb
something
down.
Like
So it's like 100 feet down to the where the fort is.
And guess who had Featherfall?
To it.
that. Not me.
Well, I'll think on if I can have any additions to this strategy, but for now it seems sound.
I mean, the only thing is that they said to come alone.
Right.
So we're not doing that.
Well, but
I
you
imagine,
did have many more with you before this, did you not?
yeah,
Yeah.
but I think they know what we look like.
Ah.
They will recognize that you are.
That's
You
why
know.
you disguise as the wit.
I mean, you can do that, or we can make you invisible. It doesn't really matter.
If
Whatever
have
you are
a
comfortable
way
with.
to disguise me, that works.
I mean,
but
can you
invisible,
sing? Are you really a singer, though?
Have you ever known me to be a singer?
No.
Well, I think
Do you
that
think you
answers
can
that
pretend
question.
to be?
Oh, time to start.
Well, I think it might be easier if he was just invisible, because if he's so sneaky and if he's invisible, I mean, Aylar, you'd have to fuck up so bad.
Well, that's not beside me. I've fucked up before, but I think in this case I can
I think I have faith
hold
in you.
my own.
I just think that might be better than him trying to be somebody he doesn't know that well.
Are you saying that the wit and Aylar weren't best of friends?
Well, you can be friends with somebody, but that doesn't always make you best friends.
What? That's true.
I mean, you can be best friends with as many people as you
Oh
want.
yeah, like me and Aylar. I know everything about Aylar.
Right.
And he know everything about me.
Can I make an insight check to see if Tail truly believes that?
Sure.
That's a 21. No, that's a 22.
Do you truly believe that?
That we're best friends?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I just want to verify.
All
He's
right.
one of my many best friends.
Oh my god.
Got like 50.
Well, I think I'm going to turn in and get as much rest as possible if we're going to ride as hard as we did tomorrow.
Well, we do need to do watches, don't we? Should we do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm happy to take a watch. I only need 4 hours of meditation to be well rested for tomorrow.
I want to know how to do that. Dear Lord.
It took years of practice, but
Oh, what the heck? We had years. Just saying.
I'm not sure it's
I'm
something
just
I could
kidding.
teach you, but
It's okay.
Well, I'll take first watch.
all right. Do we want to go in pairs or just individuals? How do we want to do this?
I'll go with you, Aylar.
All right.
Me
I'll
and
take-
you, Seven.
All right. I guess that.
I can take the
Yes.
whole second watch. If you give me 4 hours, I'll take the rest of it.
Oh, okay.
So.
I'll get up in 8 and help you with the last bit.
All right.
Okay.
I want a full face.
Very well.
All right. So we will take the first watch.
All right. So, Aylar bids you all good night and turns in for the evening. You two take the first watch. Is there anything you want to talk about, or are you guys just awkwardly sitting quiet?
Oh, Seven, what secret things are you hiding?
I was expecting an I Spy or some shit.
Secret thing is. What secret thing is?
Oh,
are you
like
at?
secret item that
Secret
you said
item.
you had. Yeah. I'll show you one of my secret items.
Okay. What is your secret item?
Oh, you go first.
You know, Tail, I have a very high suspicion that you don't have a secret item.
I have secret thing. It's an item you know of, but there's secret on it.
This is becoming less interesting by the second.
Do you like hidden massages and things?
I mean, would I be able to read this message?
Not by yourself.
Then what does this message provide me, Tail?
Fun.
You know what, Tail? I think I might just show you what I have on me, just so you might just stop asking one day.
Oh, that's probably smart, because I definitely would have asked every day.
Perfect. Here, and I pull out my dagger.
Okay.
Oh, that cool dagger, what it do?
Nothing. I just have it on me just in case, but I've never actually had to use it ever in my life.
You did once.
Insight
Okay,
check.
once.
You stabbed your brother in the library.
You stabbed your brother in the library.
There's
still blood on it? In the
The once,
library.
but they don't know that.
The dagger.
Oh, who you stabbed? Or touch with it?
I
Aggressive.
one time stabbed my brother.
Oh, which one?
You've...
Valid question.
That is a good question, Dale. The one that I see the most often, unfortunately.
Is that the one I saw?
Yes,
Oh, he jerk face. That deserved stabbing.
exactly. So yes, this is my secret item.
So
Oh,
succinct.
that's good.
It's not necessarily fun. No, it's just a dagger I use just in case.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Okay.
Roll your perception checks for your watch.
14.
10, 14. As you guys are conversing, nothing really appears to be out of the ordinary. There's some, nighttime creatures that meander nearby your camp. It's a pretty clear, starry night abound, and you eventually your conversation fades and you get a little bit lost in the crackling ambiance of the fire. Eventually, your watch fades. Are you guys doing just a 2-hour watch and then trading out with oh wait, I guess you'd have to if you're doing in pairs then. Never mind. So you guys would have to do the 4-hour watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So your watch ends. Alar eventually awakes and comes in.
When I go to sleep, I'm gonna pray to Verda.
Really?
Or
Okay.
at least try to talk to her.
What are you doing?
I'm going to go, Varuna, just want to let you know, don't know if you talked to her recently, but Nimueh got kidnapped, and I'm scared of what happened to her, and I don't know, seem like you know what's been going on in my life, so just want to ask you to make sure that I don't go, a weird, crazy person, and you know what I'm talking about, yeah? Okay, cool. Well, just reaching out to you, just asking to protect Nimueh. I'm sure you don't want to bring her back from dead again. So, yeah, cool. Going to sleep now. Good night.
Roll one more perception check for me.
8.
8? Okay.
Yeah, I'm so good.
You say this and kind of wait for a second and feel satisfied in your words and lay down and eventually drift off as Alar and Nyx wake up to kind of take over your watch for the next watch. Did you want to talk to Alar about anything? If not, we'll just figured as much.
Nah, I hate that guy.
So there's that moment where you both kind of like sit in silence, kind of waiting for the two to fall asleep, and after a minute, Alar kind of turns to you and says, Namira, it's really good to see you again. I didn't think it would be this quick, but I can't say that I'm complaining about it, even though the circumstances aren't quite, or,
It is the silver lining of a terrible situation.
true.
I did not think we'd be in Dead Cairn anytime soon again.
With where you were the last I spoke with you, neither did I.
Yeah, we were way out there.
It seemed
We were
so.
kind of close to the Savage Peaks.
Are you planning on going back there?
I don't know. I don't want to go, but
I don't want you to have to go. I was going to say alone. I know you're not alone, but I feel like I would be beside myself if I let you go without me there. If you do decide that's something you want to do, please let me know. I don't know if I can make it work, but I would like to be by your side for that.
I would too.
Especially if we are to run into Callista again.
I think that is likely.
I think we both have a bone to pick with her.
Have you seen or heard anything from her?
Idris has sent out... I've had him send out agents of the Faceless. Some information has come back. I don't know how valid it is. There are people who have said that she had dealings with the crones that reside in Storin's Keep, off in the swamplands. And I don't know how long ago that was. That's most of the path that can be uncovered, other than your dealings with her in Whitehorn. And after that, her trail is disappeared.
Well, there's some new information that has come to light. I recently have been trying to reach out to Baravar.
He kind of squints his eyes and gives you a look, just awaiting.
She's always, even though I haven't really spoken to her ever, Baravar has always kind of been I don't know, she feels protective when things feel dark. And, that day in the woods I thought that was Baravar, didn't you?
I believed so because that's what you had told me.
It wasn't.
Are you certain of this?
I'm certain.
That's troubling to hear.
Right before our friend DeWitt left us to go on his own journey, he identified the locket. And it had a scrying spell on it. I imagine yours did too.
Even more troubling news as he kind of pulls his out.
Wait, what?
Oh, wait, that's right, sorry. No.
I was like, don't fuck with me like that. Don't do that.
He doesn't have it, sorry. I was lost in the moment of what he would do if he did have it on. He definitely, he reaches up and kind of like rubs around his neck where a locket would be. So that's... Well, I guess I'm happy to not have mine anymore then.
Yeah, I think it is a good...
Some silver lining other than I have found you, so I don't necessarily need the vial.
I think that's the problem. I don't really know what to make of all this, but I don't know if Callista was behind this or who helped us that day in the woods. Because this whole time I've been thinking that they helped us get away, but maybe they let us get away.
Well, given this information, it does seem to signify that she had some type of dealing with this, especially if she was able to find you in Whitehorn.
Well,
I don't know exactly what her involvement
would
be.
Yes, and she was able to find us, and she must have known that we had recently reunited.
She had to
because that's the form she took to try to gain our trust.
What form? Oh wait, you told me.
Yeah.
She
pretended to be you. I mean, it didn't work for that long.
Well, the disturbing thing to me is how much does she know then? How much has she seen?
I don't know.
If it is her that has had dealings with this scrying.
I don't really know how scrying works. I don't know if it's all the time. I don't know what she could see or, who's been put in danger because I didn't know that
Well, I'm not
locket was
extremely versed in this either, but this is something that we can pose to Idris or anyone of any magical means within the city once this whole dealing with Nimueh is over and done. Maybe we can gain some answers that way.
Did you ever open your locket?
Thought about it many times, trying to find you before it happened, and as years passed, it just almost faded to be a reminder. I wanted to, don't get me wrong, but I figured that I should leave that to you, as you were the one who was in more danger than I, and the last thing I wanted was to pose more danger to you, but it seems that that was for naught.
Well, I kind of want to know what happens. I don't know how to get rid of the spell or whatever is on that locket, but I want to keep the vial. I don't know. This also reminds me, last session, or 2 sessions ago, I said that I took the vial out of the locket, but I shouldn't have been able to do that because there was a little trick to that when I have to say the right words to open it.
That's right. So you just put the
I
whole
would've put
locket
the whole
into the bag
locket
of
in the-
holding.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was in my bag, not the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Well,
it
you
was-
also have a bag of holding.
Haversack.
Or you're right.
But
sorry.
it's not with Nimue is the
Hamper
point.
The
Yeah,
hamper-
I've thought
the
about
hamper
that.
sack.
Bag of special things.
Half a sack.
Just making sure that it wasn't stuck with him.
Okay. No. It's with you.
I don't know. I kind of want to see what happens, but I also don't want. If somebody is scrying, I don't want anybody to see that where we are or what we're doing. I don't know.
That is fair. I see your dilemma. I think this is something that we can approach once this is all over.
Yeah. I wanted to let you know because I think that Callista is very much aware of where you are and what you are doing in Dead Cairn.
Let her come. I'm ready for her. It's been a long time coming, and she deserves anything that I can dish out.
I mean, I agree. I just want you to be safe.
I'll do my best. I've made it this far, haven't I?
Yeah, and then some. You're
And then
fucking
some.
old.
Getting there. Try not to think about it. Thanks for
I mean,
pointing
you
it out
don't
again.
you don't look old. Okay, you're
Don't look
like
a
an
day
elf.
over 100.
I try. Too hard sometimes. This job, the stress does get to you. And
Well-
sure, I'll start to show it eventually.
Yeah, give it another 200 years.
I hope so.
Yeah.
All right, make perception check. Actually, where's my sheet?
I crit.
Damn.
Woo.
So that's a 23. No. Did it go up? 24, baby.
Look at that proficiency.
Level 9.
So you have this conversation, but it's almost like a practiced. You fall into old habits where Alar had, been teaching you being perceptive and sneaky and all these things that back when you had originally known each other, it's almost like you fall into this old rhythm where even during this conversation, you notice that both of you are still focused on the words, but glancing around and very vigilant of the area around yourselves. Nothing seems to seem out of the ordinary the whole evening during your rest. And eventually morning, the light starts to come in. And as dawn begins, Alar kind of stands up, says, well, I think it's probably time we awake everyone and grab a quick bite to eat before we take off again.
Yeah. That's
Very
good.
well. And he stands up and the both of you go and wake the other two. You guys all wake up and go about having a quick breakfast before breaking down camp and heading off on your way.
God, I totally took this for granted.
What?
Oh,
The hut that
hut,
DeWitt. Yeah. This
Well,
is a lot of work.
I mean, I'm just sleep on floor anyway, no matter what, so I'm okay.
I
Now I have to
mean,
roll up my bedroll.
Next time we can just use my spirits.
What?
What?
I mean, we've used them before, but we've
Just
had
to find
to.
shelter, but not.
I mean, they can make and break camp.
They can?
Yes.
You won't. I'm not there, but you won't.
This would have been pertinent information to speak.
That would have been
Well, you
yesterday.
already got started, and so I didn't bother telling you. You seem very set on making camp. So,
Well, next time.
Quite used to
You're
it.
totally right. We love it.
well, maybe next time ask.
It has been quite some time since I've been on the road, and I can't say I mind it all too much. You know,
I mean, it
getting
has
back
been
into
some
it.
time since I've used them. Ever since DeWitt got the hut, there was no need.
Yeah, good point.
Well, we'll need some rest tomorrow, and a good place to do so after this is all over. So, I say we head that way, and you all break down camp and begin to head back on the road towards the Iron Slopes. And as you do, you notice storm clouds brewing in the distance over the distant peaks as you approach. Nimueh.
Yay.
So you, after a night of...
Well, actually, I had something I want to do before I go to
Oh, okay.
So after doing further research, I definitely need my holy symbol to cast spells.
Uh-huh.
So, like when it gets like pretty dark out, like when it's like pretty quiet and stuff like that, I'm gonna try to scratch the holy symbol. And if my hands are bound, I should still be able to get back into like the back of my hand. I'm gonna try to scratch the holy symbol into the back of my hand.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Well, it's not like it would be allowed.
No, the note is it's a spellcaster's knot. It's not a normal wrist bind. Your hands are literally bound in a way so you cannot make like finger gestures for spells. Like they're bound so your hands are like tight together. So it might be possible, but
Okay.
I don't know if that changes anything that you would like to do
Well,
on that.
I was gonna say if I can't use my fingernails, I have the chain thing that's covering up my scar.
You do.
If it's got a sharp edge, I could use that too. I could use my teeth.
Okay.
Sharp edge of the bed. something like
Right.
that.
You have plenty of edges to do it. It's more the
The artistic ability of getting
Right.
in there. It just needs to be rough, you know?
I would say
It's just gotta be vaguely Varuna-ish.
Make a performance check would be the only check that I can see for you being able to make the symbol correctly while yeah.
18.
18. You find a sharp edge of the bed that you're on and begin to scratch away at your wrist, and it's painful. There are many moments where you have to stop and grit your teeth because you feel the warmth of the blood start to trickle down your wrist and into your sleeve, and you continue at it. This goes on for way more time than you would wish it would, but by the end of it, you have what you think is a pretty accurate representation of the symbol to the maiden etched onto your wrist.
And then I will make sure to clean up any blood.
Okay.
No.
You spend some more time taking the sheets and kind of wiping away and
Making sure that none of it's visible.
Okay. You said you carved this into your wrist.
Like the back of my hand.
Or back of your hand, I guess,
Yeah.
not wrist. I don't know. I'm saying wrist.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you sleep for an even more restless sleep for the evening.
Uh-huh.
You still are able to obtain a long rest. It's just very toss and turn restlessness.
Mm-hmm.
And the next morning, you awake.
I want to try to wake up early enough, like if I'm tossing and turning enough, like waking up early enough to be able to make sure that I can switch out my spells for the day.
Okay.
And pray to Varuna really quick and switch them out.
Okay. You feel like this works. You're able to center yourself enough, given your situation, to focus to the point where you feel you have been granted that access to the abilities that this following of the maiden affords you.
Okay.
Okay. At some point, Vale steps into the room with like a breakfast, a bowl of like breakfast porridge, essentially, followed by Rakir, who takes up his same post at the edge of the door. And
I'm going to make sure that the side of I did it in the left one. I'm going to make sure that side's down in my lap.
Okay. All right. Vale steps to the side table and goes to set the porridge down and notice the uneaten food from the night before. Says, if I were going to poison you or do anything of that nature, you wouldn't be here chained up. You really should eat. It's not good for you to leave yourself hungry, but... And he just takes the cold bowl or a cold plate of stew and puts down the porridge and gives kind of a sigh and another curt nod and steps to move out of the door.
Hold on. Give me 1 sec. I gotta look at the spell. Okay. Can I see, like, the shadow of Rakir, like, outside the door?
Make a perception check.
Natural 20.
Yeah,
9.
definitely. You can see and hear the kind of shuffle that he's standing
Would you
outside
say
the
it's
door.
enough to be able to cast a spell on him?
It depends on what you're trying to cast, but you know that he is there.
You ever heard of the spell, I think it's pronounced Geese?
Yes.
Geese?
I like
Yes.
better. I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
So it's 1 minute casting time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try to quickly do it under my breath. But, and hold my wrist out towards him and try to be as subtle as possible, but, it is still a verbal, but the only components are verbal.
Okay.
And it's a saving throw. Do you have the spell pulled up? Do I need to describe it to you?
No, I have
Okay,
the spell
cool.
pulled up.
Great.
Okay. So you hold out your wrist and make a stealth check just for your words.
Thank God. 19. Holy shit.
I will say,
When you're upper management.
given your clever move here and the fact that he did not notice you casting the spell, I'll roll his saving throws,
It's
which is a wisdom.
Yeah, I believe
And
so.
what is your DC?
My DC is now 17.
Damn!
Oh my god. Wow. All right. Well, only the dice know the fate of this story. So, what is the command that you...
Yes! Ooh.
As you feel that kind of warm, divine energy that you normally feel from your symbol around your neck, you feel it pulse in your hand, and it's almost a burning sensation as it travels like up your wrist a little ways before disseminating outwards towards this creature around the edge. So what is your command?
I've got two options here. I don't know which one's the better one. Because I could either just do it.
Just go for it.
Pick one.
Stop Vale from enacting his plan of revenge. And he has to follow this command for the next 30 days.
Wow, that's so long. I was not expecting that
Duration
part whatsoever.
30 days. And while the creature is charmed by you, it takes 5d10 psychic damage each time it acts in a manner directly counter to your instructions.
Wow.
Holy shit, that's a good spell. Yeah, that's why it's a 5th level
I
spell.
thought you were just gonna tell him to teleport you out of there.
Well, yeah, my other one was help me escape.
But then it's
But then
You'd
yeah.
lose all your stuff.
Yeah, I'd lose all my stuff, like
Well,
Okay.
Does he have to follow, or does he just...
or
Not sure.
5d10 psychic damage.
Okay.
yeah.
He is charmed, so who knows?
Alrighty. So you feel like this has worked, but you don't see any movement. He still stands at the door. Is there anything else you would like to do?
No, I'm just going to wait very patiently and try to concentrate on connecting to Varuna and making sure that the spell holds.
Okay. So you settle back and begin to focus on this divine magic that is now surged from you towards this creature. The rest of you, you spend the half a day riding hard. Your horses are definitely getting to the point of exhausted even by midday, but you approach quickly the foot of the iron slopes that leads up to where this sky giant fort that once housed the obsidian core is nestled. Rain clouds have now very visibly taken over the sky above, and it hasn't started falling yet, but you can tell that rain, if not a storm, is on the forecast for some point during this day. And you stop at the foot, and Alar pulls back the reins on his horse and turns it towards you all and says, "Well, I don't think we're going to be able to take the horses much further, everyone. I believe it's on foot from here.
Probably.
Probably
Looks
for
like
the
it.
best, yes.
You all know the way, yes?
Yeah, we
Yes.
do.
Well, let us go then."
Okay.
And he hops off, ties his horse to a tree nearby.
I'll put my horse near there too.
Same.
You know, right here, Alar, is where I first heard that you weren't dead, Karen.
Oh, that's quite a random coincidence, I would say.
Before we start making our way up to the mountain, I'm going to use my primeval awareness and just communicate with the horses and say that, like, basically just say, like, we'll be back, like,
Okay.
kind of thing. Like,
Cool.
just to kind of keep them calm.
You get some like snorts and whinnies that signify that it is understood what you have communicated to them. And they kind of heads down, start grazing in the grass surrounding the trees.
As we're like approaching it, I'm gonna cast message and like whisper something to Seven.
Okay.
I'm going to use it. Hey, Savon.
Mhm.
So, of course, you have seen what happened when I went a little crazy trying to protect my friends. You stopped me once from like leaving the group after I thought what I done was unforgivable, you know?
Mhm.
And with Nimueh in danger, I am afraid that whatever might happen might cause me to go down that path again. So I ask you, if you see me doing that, if you could please stop me. I asking you because, to put it lightly, you probably feel less guilty for shooting me than Nyx will. So if you could help me out there, that'd be cool. But yeah,
You do make a point there. I will say, Tail, that I will help you if that does come to happen.
I hope not.
I do hope so as well, but just I believe in yourself. I believe that you have the strength to fight it back, even if you see Nimueh in an undesirable state.
I know. I just try to cover the bases right now.
Understandable. I will be there just in case.
Well, I appreciate that.
Oh, trust me, I have no problem shooting an arrow.
I know, you shot me once already. Twice.
Twice.
So you all begin to trek your way up the side of the first mountainside into the Iron Peak or Iron Slopes. Tail, I want you to make a perception check for me.
I'm so bad at those, but I'm gonna crit because that's how I roll. 12.
12. That's enough. As you start to make headway up this, you glance up and you see the form of a large owl swoop past you and kind of glide over your head into the direction that the fort is, the Obsidian Core's hideout. And you kind of get this renewed sense and this warmth built up in your chest. And it pushes you further. And you kind of get set on the direction that you're going and just go. I also would like the three of you to make a separate one, but a separate perception check as well as you travel for it probably 2 hours into your hike up this mountainside.
23.
23?
18.
15.
Okay, so the two of you, with 18 being the DC,
Oh, yeah.
notice these creatures circling above, flying, and you remember the last time you were here, Seven especially, the Peritons that you fought that picked you up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
This isn't
not
a
far.
Periton.
Oh.
As Nyx can see this more clearly than you can, as it kind of one of them circles down, you see something that you have seen before, and it takes you a moment to realize that you saw this in the forest when you fought the strange creatures that Seven knew about when you joined forces with the devils. There's this dark purple winged creature that soars above, covered in spines and spikes, carrying what looks to be a spiked trident or like pitchfork-like object as it circles above and then flies into the direction of the fort.
What is that? Do we know? Did we ever identify what that was?
No.
Do you guys remember that?
Well, regardless if we
See what?
remember it or not, I believe they're on their way to inform that we have arrived.
Oh, that's not good. How
saw-
far are they now?
Shit.
I mean, they're like a few hundred feet from you,
Oh.
circling. Nyx
Did
just happened
they
to...
they're circling us or the mountain?
No, the
The
mountain.
Does it look like they've spotted us? Did I see that in my perception?
They are like, they circled and are headed straight back towards the mountain.
It's just a guess, but it seems due to their movements, if they were circling the mountain, they were probably keeping watch. And since they're on their way back to the other entrance, which you can only get through the top of the mountain, they're probably scouts.
Well, our cover.
Wait.
blown already.
We saw these the day that we fought those creatures.
Yeah, they were part of the
Yes.
forces that were with the devils fighting those creatures.
I know exactly what you've done here, Mason.
I don't know if you do.
I have a...
I'm just saying the last time we saw these things is the same day, the last day that we saw your brother.
Oh, I know.
and my
Trust me, I
daughter.
know where this might be kind of leading to. I don't have a
Well,
great
Oh
feeling
my
about
God.
I'm
it.
not very excited
But-
about that.
I think, if anything, now would be a great time for Alar to disguise himself.
I thought. he
Am I
was just
disguising
sneaky.
myself or going invisible?
Oh, yes, I forgot about...
Invisible, we only have an hour's worth of
Well,
time.
much further we
Yeah, we should
got.
I
probably-
don't
We've
know
been
if
up the
invisibility
You've been
will
up
do
here a
much
couple
now.
times.
Yeah.
So
in
you would,
general.
about from the area you're in now, you probably have about between 2 and 3 hours, depending on how long it takes you to get through that kind of like sheer winding like shelf that wraps into the cavern that leads to the bridge and then further in.
Well, right now it would go away by the time we get there. I mean, they kind of already saw us, but if you see anyone else, I'll cast it then. Because it might just go away by the time we get there, then they might see
I mean-
him.
The whole point is so that they don't know that we brought an extra person. But do we really know that that thing saw us?
Oh, that,
No, not
I mean, that's what
necessarily.
I'm saying. Do you see anyone looking at us right now? Instant, you'll see someone.
I don't
just
think so.
let me know. And now, invisible.
Well,
Alar.
I guess the only thing we can do, regardless of what happens, is to just move forward.
Right.
Yeah,
Very
I don't
well.
want to waste like a bunch of
maybe
spells
let's-
before we even get
No,
there.
I understand. I just thought it would be better if we got a drop on them.
Yeah.
But
Well,
maybe
let-
let's proceed.
Sneakily?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you all slow your pace just a little bit in order to keep a watch and stay as quiet as possible, and continue trekking further up the mountainside. Nimueh. There comes a point where Vale and Rakir step into the room. You hear them. Roll a perception check, actually. You hear muffled words coming from not right outside your door, but
14.
14. You can't quite make out what is said. And after the words are mumbled, the two of them step in, Rakir taking his normal place at the door. And Vale steps forward and goes to move towards the chain that has you tied to the wall. And he says, well, it seems your friends have made it a little bit earlier than I expected, but no matter. I was prepared for any contingency with this. If you'll please come with me. And he undoes the chain and begins to lead you out of the room. Rakir following behind you. It's Vale in front, you in the middle, and Rakir kind of leading behind. And he takes you to a set of stairs within this fort. And you begin to climb these stairs that were at one point made for giants. I mean, it's like a massive stair set, and there's been like wooden planks that have been fashioned on and around these stairs to allow for like normal sized humanoids to walk up without having to shamble up these tall stairs. They begin to lead you up these and onto the roof of this fort. And Vale leads you over to the edge and basically brings the same chain and chains you to a part on the edge overlooking the same entryway that you had seen before. There's still the two fallen columns of the four that were there that kind of like lay almost intersecting each other in the middle of this courtyard. And you have flashes back to first the battle that had occurred here in the beginning with this group, and then the time you'd come back to reclaim your treasure and had to fight some crazy ass birds that almost took 7 up and away to be feasted upon before coming back to the moment. And you can see above you storm clouds gathering, and you can almost taste and smell that scent in the air that signifies that rain is coming. And Vale just turns to you and says, we'll stay here until your friends get here, and I promise that no harm will come to you as long as you behave during this. Please don't make me do anything that I will regret later, but don't think that I won't hesitate. And he looks to Rakir and gives a nod and just steps to the edge and leans out and just stares towards the entrance of this fort.
The entire time that we walk up the stairs and we sit down, I don't look at him. I just keep my head held high. And as he says those words, I just sit and look at the sky and ignore him. And I just look at the sky.
Okay.
And I'm going to be like kind of on the watch for Virgil. But I'm also going to be like glancing down towards the entrance. But I'm going to pretend to be like aloof. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Okay. The rest of you make the next couple hours of this journey before you reach that small slot canyon that leads into where you had found the Obsidian Core's hideout. And you've done this enough times before that we're past the you making dex checks to stay on it. You were able to get your footing and kind of lead Alar around this small shelf that wraps into this slot canyon before you start to notice the drop-off that goes down at this point in an immeasurable amount, as you hadn't really seeing where the bottom of this drop off goes. And after a little bit, you make it to an opening where you can hear the faint sounds of rushing water down the 1,000-foot drop in front of you all. And there is a rope bridge that crosses this chasm to the other side.
I hate this place.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
as was expected, the bridge was fixed.
guess time to make Alar invisible.
Very
Anyone
well.
else want to be invisible?
I mean, if you, I mean,
Just Alar.
I can make them too. If you, I don't use very many spells. That would be helpful to you.
Okay, then yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay. Are you ready? I mean, do we remember about how, at this point, how far it is to the fort? It's like pretty close, isn't it?
It's pretty close.
All right. You know this, well, you know how invisibility works, right, Alar?
Yes, I know.
Okay, yeah. Are you ready?
If you're all ready, let's do this.
All right,
I'm
I'll
ready.
put my hand on his hand, I guess. I can't reach his shoulder.
Right.
And cast invisibility.
Okay. You do, and you feel that arcane connection to the weave flow into Alar as you watch it start from his hand, that underneath yours fades and travels up his arm, and then the rest of his body, and Alar fades from your visions, all of you. And he says, well, I think it worked. Shall we continue on?
Yeah. But let's proceed carefully because this very bridge is what almost killed us last time we were here.
Well, I've never been up here, so if you would care to take the lead on this.
You know, I have learned a few things since we last crossed this.
Do you want to go at it one at a time, just in case?
Yeah.
We should maybe do that. Also, I'll use Mage Hand this time.
Okay. To,
Well, I guess I have to investigate for traps
like, where are you investigating?
across the bridge, like on the bridge. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where exact, like, because, I mean, it's a longer bridge. Are you, like, the beginning? Are you going onto the bridge and just, like, checking as you go?
I'm checking as I go because I'm scared out of my fucking mind that I'm going to fall down this thing again.
Okay, make an investigation check for me as you approach the bridge.
Nice.
Fucking 20
Nice.
for a 30.
That's good, because as you approach the bridge, you check around the edges, and there doesn't appear to be a trap. And you kind of reach out to grab the handrail, and your hand passes through it. And as you stop everybody, you check a little bit further, and you reach to the right side, and the right side holds. There seems to be a rope on the right side. And with a natural 20, something clicks in your head, and you can see that there is an illusion cast on this bridge that signifies where the bridge is. The real bridge is just to the right of that illusion, and you easily, with a natural 20, find that. It is invisible, and it's very disorienting as you take a cautious step out into what looks to be open space. But it finds purchase on some invisible force that crosses this chasm. And Alar just says, it seems you have learned some tricks. I'm not sure I would have been able to spot that. Well
Hey,
done.
You fit right in here.
Well, it's going to be a bit odd for me as I can't even see my own feet or the bridge, but would someone care to... you feel a hand like onto your shoulder and he says, would you please lead me across? It's very hard to see where I'm going right now.
Oh god, he's gonna die. We're gonna kill Alar.
He's like, I don't know if I'm falling or not.
Pretty much. Oh my god. So you all slowly and cautiously make your way into open void and are walking on an invisible bridge, and you can, like, in the middle of it, you can see down below you this chasm that once before, I believe it was just you two out of the ones who were left here.
DeWitt was there too.
Yeah, but you two who
Yeah.
are here, that the bridge was cut and
Yep.
you hung on by the
hung
red
Yeah, it was
on.
me, me, you, and,
Yep.
and Vlad.
before
Oh.
getting rescued and brought back up. we'll just keep your investigation check. Because it was a natural 20, you're very cautious and alert the whole time. There doesn't seem to be another trap that would trigger some type of similar instance to what had happened to you all before. Probably because they seem to learn from their mistake as they couldn't get across the bridge after that was triggered. And it was probably hard for them to get away from here. You make it to the other end. That once before, the only way you had done so is stepping into some unknown realm gifted to you by Irfan's patron. This time, you walk across an invisible bridge that leads you to this other side of the precipice, to the small opening before you that leads further in. Are you guys? How would you like to proceed? And what is the marching order?
Well, what should we?
Well, we don't really have another way in other than
The way that.
Easily,
right
yeah.
here. So
I mean, they're expecting us.
yes, they already know we're here. So it's not like
I mean, should we? I mean,
I guess we
should we just march in?
Oh,
yeah. So
I
we
guess
just
so.
walk
Hey,
on.
where's Nimueh?
But we should be cautious, just in
Maybe
case.
Well,
sneak a little bit.
Yeah, maybe scout out where they are.
Let's go at
Start.
it slowly, just in case for traps, ambushes.
Okay.
So who would like to take the helm?
I mean, I'll keep my eyes peeled for traps and stuff.
So you're going in height order.
Yeah.
So
Shortest
that would
to
mean
tallest.
I'm second. I
Me?
prefer not to
So
be
am
right
I
up
taking
front.
the rear?
I'll be second, right
It would
behind
clap-
Nyx.
Okay.
Okay.
And it would probably be better if you're in the rear because
You are
then you can
invisible.
adapt. Yeah, you're invisible.
Very well.
Yeah.
So you all proceed. Are you trying to be stealthy, or are you just taking it cautiously?
I would like to be stealthy. But
Stealthy?
Yeah.
Well, in
I
that
mean-
case, I cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay, roll your stealth checks and add the 10 from Pass Without a Trace.
I haven't casted that in
Ooh,
so
what's
long.
gonna be my Alar dice?
And he gets advantage.
Yes, he does, and that's a good thing.
Oh, it's plus 10.
Oh,
Good-
very
good
good thing. Okay,
Dang.
like over 30. Rolled a 5 first. Still would have
that's
been
what I
fine,
rolled.
but
Yeah. I still got a 28.
okay.
15. 32.
All right.
Yeah.
So you all cautiously and quietly make your way through this small cavern that eventually opens up into that large, what looks to be like an ancient battle had occurred, this cavern where there are the corpses of fallen giants around and the large stone gateway with the words etched in giant around the top of the arch that leads to the large staircase that wraps up and enters into the courtyard of this sky giant fort. So you are at that gateway, that doorway. Is there anything else you would like to do, or would you like to just proceed?
Are we ready?
I mean, we're here, so
Okay.
All
let's
right.
go.
Let's
Okay.
just go.
So you continue through the doorway and immediately find yourself at the base of that large staircase that either has you scaling up the massive stairs, or the last time you had come through, you climbed up on the banister, the stone banister to the stairway, and used that as almost a ramp up. Which path would you like to take?
It was the ramp and the.
Like the stairs themselves. That would involve climbing, like scaling the large steps.
Didn't we run up the ramps the last time?
Yeah, you did go up the ramp. You did trigger a trap at one of the like braziers, the large like cauldrons that line
Braziers.
this.
Braziers are a
Yeah, I
different
know. I
thing.
always say that. You know.
I love it though. I mean, I know Nyx is gonna.
my fucked
Nyx
up
can't
word.
get up those fucking stairs.
Okay, so you
All right,
climb
so we
the
take the
banister.
other
okay.
option.
Yeah, other.
So you begin to make your way up there, and you, on the second brazier, realize you see the remnants of the trap that you had triggered the last time you were here. It doesn't seem to have been reset, or I guess it wasn't the last time. It was the first time you were here because you saw it the second time you were here as well, and it still looks the same. It doesn't appear to have been reset at all. It is just triggered and left that way.
Okay. I mean, I'll still investigate it, but
Okay.
if I come to that conclusion, then
Make your investigation check.
God, what a mind fuck. Natural
Wow.
fucking 20.
Damn.
What the
Dude.
fuck? I'm popping
It's an
off.
illusion as well. No, it's not triggered. And going up this path, having done it a few times, you know where to look, and there doesn't seem to be any, pressure plates or triggers or any type of anything that would signify a trap. And
Okay.
you make it to the top of the stairway. As you can see now, the courtyard before you of this fort with the 2 fallen pillars that lay in the main path that leads to the actual gates and the entrance to this fort. And as you make it to the top of the stairs, you hear a crackle of thunder as rain begins to pour down into this open mountaintop leading to the Sky Giant Fort. Are you guys staying stealthed? Are you sneaking further in? How are you approaching this?
Can I see them yet?
No, because they're you can make a perception check, but all of them rolled pretty high.
Randall rolled a 15.
Okay, make a perception check.
I don't make it.
God, I'm so stealthy.
I
I'm
don't see him.
so-
I'm staring at the sky.
You're staring at the sky, and as you're doing so, you hear Rakir next to you say, "They are here." You rolled a natural 20.
Well, sorry, guys.
You all here, as well as Nimueh, Vale straightens up on the edge of the roof, which you guys can all see now. 3 figures off in the distance on the roof of this fort, and you hear a voice yell out, "I know you're here. You might as well come out now and face me. And don't think if you have not come alone, that there won't be consequences for your actions."
I'll step out.
Yeah, I'll step out. too.
Okay.
Okay. So the 3 of you step out into the pathway. And he says, "You can approach, but just know if you try anything, it won't last very long." And he snaps a finger, and you see 4 of those winged spiked creatures fly down from the cliffside and land on the pillar tops. The 2 are like open pillar tops, and then 2 on the edges of the fort itself next to them. And just take up and fold their wings, watching you all vigilantly.
Is she safe? Is Nimueh safe?
She's safe, and she is here. And he gestures as you approach, and you can see Nimueh stood there, looking over the edge at you all.
Nimueh, are you okay? Did he do anything to you?
I'm fine too. Thank you.
Okay, good. Why are you doing this?
For what you did to me, and to my friends.
Your friends almost killed our party members.
And they did nothing compared to what you did. The rest of you, I have no quarrel with. If you, creature, step forward and face me, we can be done with this.
I walk forward.
The rest of you do anything?
I'm gonna. Oh.
Oh, as I'm walking forward, I'm also gonna subtle spell disguise self and make myself look human.
Okay.
I don't do anything.
All right.
I just wait to act because I will act as soon as something happens to Tail.
Okay. And as Tail steps forward, Nimueh, you can see Rook here kind of raise his hand and wave it. And you two, with Tail kind of ahead, see Alar's form appear next to the pillar. He goes, "Well, looks like that didn't quite work out
His
so well."
perception check beat Alar's stealth.
Mhm.
Are you joking my ass? What is this guy?
How did he roll so low on his saving throw?
I don't know.
This is what we talked about, Alar.
Shouldn't have worked. I'm gonna click the heels of my boots
How
together.
far away are they from me?
Are who from you?
Vale and Rahir.
They're up on the top of the fort, which is being giant size. I mean, this isn't like a castle. It's just a little fort, but even so, they're probably like 80 feet up on the roof of this.
Where are those
Or
flying
not, sorry, not
creatures?
80 feet up. That's a really tall ceiling. It's probably, they're probably about that high. It's probably about 40, 50 feet up.
Okay.
Where are what?
Where are the flying creatures?
2 of them are on the pillars that are near you guys, just on the top looking down at you, and 2 of them are sitting on the edge of the wall of this fort.
So how far apart are they from each other?
I mean, what are you trying to do?
I'm just trying to gauge where they are.
I mean, they're pretty relatively spaced. The ones on the pillars are closest to each other. The ones on
Yeah.
the edge of the roof are pretty far away from the other 2.
Okay.
But are next to each other as well.
Okay.
Taylor, you step forward.
One more question. Sorry. Are the other 2 the ones that aren't close to us? Are they close to Nimueh and Vale and them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Taylor, you begin to step forward, and Nimueh Vale turns and starts to walk back to the stairway and just stops next to you and says, "I'm sorry it has to be this way, but it will be over soon. You can go." And he turns
I cast command.
on Vale.
Yeah. It's verbal only.
Okay.
And I hold out my hands to him and I say, untie.
I don't even know why I'm rolling that. So you hold out your hands, or you say that, and you feel the surge, and you feel it start to take Vale and then dissipate.
Procure should be helping me. That son of a bitch.
Roll your 5d10 psychic damage.
Oh. Well, at least he fucking does damage. Where's my...
5d10 is
That's
pretty
a
fucking
lot.
good. That's a lot.
like, had this $31 damage.
Okay.
Damn.
Got it. You see him kind of cringe a little bit, and then I have to say it was well done what you did, but I am not as easily swayed as you would think. I wanted to see what you would do with this. I am not disappointed. Vale turns and sees this exchange for a second, and turns back
It was worth a try.
and starts walking towards the stairs. And after a moment, or a few minutes, Tail, you standing out there, the door to the front of the fortress opens, and Vale steps out and steps towards you.
Okay. So what do you want?
I want to face you alone, and may the right person walk out of this.
You
That is it.
You come the first time that you encountered us, you ambushed us in our sleep and slit the throat of my companions. And you stole all of our things, and so we come back for our things. And what you stole was something we could not let go. And you almost killed my friends. How could you not expect there to be some sort of consequences for what you did?
That was a regrettable result to what we did. And I accept that it may not have been right.
And now
But what you did is not human. And here you are again, trying to make yourself seem like something you are not. Why
You're
do you
right.
hide? Why do you hide from what you really are? We've all seen what you do. They've all seen what you do. Look. And he pulls open his tunic, and you can all see the scrawled etchings of the goblin on his chest.
I
Says-
take a... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. He says, "This is what your friend does to those that he feels necessary to do. whether they're right or wrong. Is this really someone you wish to travel with? Is this really something that you wish to support?
I take off my helmet and I let go of the disguise.
Okay.
My first, I am very sorry for what I did to you. I am sorry for those carvings that I did. I know that sometimes it's hard to realize the things that I have done. You know that like many people come from different things, and some see me as a monster. Sometimes I see myself as one. But being alongside my friends, they have shown me that that is not true. There's more to me than just what some people see as hobgoblin or monster. And yeah, there were many times when I did not believe my friends. When all I believed that was I could never move past what I am. But and I'm sorry. I have wronged you and I have wronged others. But I have learned I don't know what has happened ever since we crossed paths like after, and there were times when I've certainly lost myself in who I thought I was or who I was running away from. But Nimueh, the person that you kidnapped, she has stopped me from doing such things like that on another person, and I haven't done that since. Only thing I've ever done ever since was try to protect my friends. And I know that I don't go about it the correct way, but I am not this monster that you try to tell me that I am. I know I am more than that, and there are things for me to do. And I explained. I've even passed into the next world when someone shot me in the neck and I lost my life, but it was not my time then, and it is not my time now. So, that was all I can say to you. I am sorry, but I feel like if you can continue calling me like this monster and like going about these things too, you're going to be stuck in the same place that I was before I made all my friends and before they showed me the right way. So I know that it's hard. I can't like ask you to forgive me or for doing all those things, but I think it's probably best that neither of us try to not forget what happened, but to learn from what happened. We both did bad things to each other. But I do not think that it is correct to kidnap the person that probably saved your life, you know?
Make a persuasion check.
15.
Team. You see him listen to your words for a moment and nod, and then look to you and he says, "You speak pretty words, and sure, maybe some of them are true, but you and I both know there's only one way this ends. You're only one of us who walks away from this." And he pulls 2 daggers from his sides and takes a stance.
I drop my chakram.
You drop it?
Mhm.
Okay.
And I say, I know that this might seem like what you want at the moment, and maybe even for many years this might seem like the correct thing for you to do. But I know I'm not in any way or any position to give others advice about their life or things like that. And I don't want to hurt you anymore. And I see that it seems that what I did to you will continue hurting you. And I do not want to die. I mean, I don't think there are many others who want to die. but I do not want to fight you. But if it means that I have to, escape or things like that, maybe you might chase me for rest of your life, which I do not think you should do. I think that there are probably better places for you to go, but I will get out of this without hurting you.
Your words fall on deaf ears. Just know you will die with honor. And he charges you with his daggers held out. Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this week's episode of Crit Seekers. If you like what you've heard so far, please consider giving us a review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. On Podchaser, if you didn't know, you can leave reviews on single episodes, which is pretty cool. This week's review comes to us from Murray Lewis on Podchaser. Thanks for the review, and we hope you keep enjoying what you're hearing. If you'd like to come and say hi to us on our social media pages, we are at Crit Seekers on Instagram and Twitter, so come over, send us a message, we'd love to hear from you. New episodes of Crit Seekers air every Monday at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we will see you next Monday with our next episode. Have a good week, everybody.